Hey everybody, Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So in the past I've talked about battery maintainers, or typically like a Kleenex referred to as a battery tender. There's the OG battery tender brand, automatic charger. This is actually a really old school one, the original one. But there's also other high quality ones from Optimate. This is a Moose branded one. And they typically come with a long cord. They plug in a wall, they're completely automatic. They keep your battery topped off in periods where you don't use your scooter. And I have lots of customers, they have their Vespa at a summer home, or they just don't use it that much. They use the scooter on that once in every Sunday, that's really nice. Or maybe you live in a colder climate where you put your scooter away for a good 6 months. Especially as these scooters get more and more electronic, they have more little parts that just ever so slightly drain the battery. Plus the battery will just self-drain over its lifetime anyway. So it just sits there for about 2 months, 3 months. It's gonna drain down to a point where you're not gonna have enough cranking amps to start it. This is especially true with the ones with the keyless fob. But fortunately, there's a nice, easy way to install the SAE connector onto the scooter without connecting straight to the battery like we've always done in the past on a couple specific models. So if you have a 2023 or later Vespa GTS or GTV, such as this beautiful 2024 I have here, if you have a 2024 model Primavera or Sprint 150, only the 150s, 2024 and later, they have what's referred to as a Euro 5 connector. And also the BV400 and the latest MP3 500 also have the same Euro 5 connector. And the nice thing about that connection is it has a constant connection to the battery, or 12-volt source. And this is a nice, easy plug-and-play solution to hook up one of these battery maintainers to keep your battery charged without having to open up your battery cover. So pretty simple to find that cover. Pretty much open your seat. And we'll go ahead and pull the pet carrier out. All right, so once you have the pet carrier out, on the left side of a GTS, you'll see the connection. And this is the Euro 5 diagnostic connector. It's like kind of denoted by this red color, and it's got 6 pins in there. If you have the new Primavera, it's going to be located in the battery cover. It's still simpler than putting the eyelets on your battery terminals. And if you have the MP3 or the BV400, you pop the seat, and right next to where the battery tray is where you locate this connector. So there's a little tab that releases this little plug. And I've covered the diagnostic tool. It's just a standardized OBD interface. This has, for the nerds, it has both the K-line and the CAN bus signals that terminate at this connector, along with the 12 volts. So that's why there's 6 pins there. I think one's for K-line, 2 are for the CAN bus connection, and you got a positive and negative. And it's very nice. I do like that they've made a standardized connector finally on two-wheelers. Pretty much every manufacturer, every brand, depending on the year, for fuel-injected scooters, they've had their own proprietary interfaces for several years. So you find this on the Scooter West web store. It's made by Optimate. The part number is BAT10-Euro 5 because it has that mating Euro 5 connection on there. Also includes a little 7.5 amp fuse holder. It is possible if you have a heated gear that draws less than 7 amps, you could use this. This connector, it's protected by a pretty small fuse, so you don't want to overload it. And it works great with things like the battery tender because you got the constant power, and those never put more than 1.5 amps through the connection. So you go ahead and plug that in. You got the little zip tie. And instead of having the little black cap that covers up the connection, you now have this SAE connection with a nice rubber seal. And you're wondering what these little grooves are, is where you could actually zip tie it, somewhere. I'd be careful not to have it pinched in between the bucket because that could damage the wire. There is a little spot right here. It is possible to have it go through this little slot right here without damaging the wire. Alternatively, maybe you don't need to access it all that much. There's this nice little clip right here, and you could just put it right there, and nestle it right in the frame. Kind of tuck it in there, and then you drop the bucket right in, and it's out of the way. Stays out of the way of all the stuff. But pretty simple to use. All you do is plug the mating connector in there. You have 12 feet of cord, plug that in the wall, and your battery is going to be fully charged and stay maintained. So I thought you'd find that pretty useful. Find this again on the web, scooterwest.com. We'll see you on the next one. This is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and scooterwest.com.